Rare Beauty has done it yet again. Very soon after they launched those beautiful powder highlighters, they launched their under eye brightener. This is part of their Positive Light line. I finally got my hands on it. It was out of stock on and off for a while. Today I'm going to show you how it applies on my skin and what it does for some of that darkness that you see right under my eyes there. I also have this pamphlet that comes with all the shades, so I'm gonna swatch all the shades for you. And of course, I love comparing things to each other, so I'm gonna compare the brightening level of the new product versus just their concealers. So I got the lightest shade. It's called Light, and it's for neutral undertones to brighten fair to light complexions. The packaging is nice and sleek, and it has that flat side so it doesn't roll off of your table, which is nice. It does make it a bit easier to open as well. It comes with 4 milliliters of product, and my favorite part about the packaging is actually the applicator. It's a really unique metal applicator that kind of looks like, you know, those barbershop signs? It kind of has that kind of pattern, but it is textured, like it has little divots that go in. And let me swatch this shade compared to the 2 concealer shades that I have. So as you can see there, it's quite a sheer formula. It's not supposed to be a concealer. They call it a super lightweight liquid that visibly brightens, hydrates, and awakens under eyes with a sheer, flexible coverage. And it's designed specifically for that no makeup look. So now I'm gonna compare the shade Light with 2 of the Rare Beauty concealer shades that I have. The first one I got is 140C, which I found was sometimes just a little too light for me and a little too cool tone. So I actually use this more under my eyes. And the other shade I have is 170W, which is more of like my true shade on the rest of my face. So there are those 3 shades. And as you can see, it is actually pretty close to that 140C color in the middle. So I would say this shade leans more cool toned than warm toned. It's cool to neutral, I would say. Now I'm just going to unpack this sample pack and swatch all the shades along my arm. I would say it's pretty true to the swatch photo that you see on the website. I'm gonna wipe these off before I get it everywhere. Okay, let's get to applying. I'm just gonna zoom you in. I did do a pretty natural, kind of my everyday makeup today, except I left my under eye area as bare as possible so we can really see the difference. And to make sure it's really bare, I'm just gonna grab this reusable cotton pad and just blend away at any powder or whatever may have gotten under my eyes as I did my makeup. For me, and the way my face is kind of shaped, like I don't have very deep eye sockets, so under eye coverage is something that I don't really pay attention to most of the time, to be honest. But I have found that in recent years, just as I'm getting into my late 20s, I am noticing a bit of thinning in the skin under my eyes, and sometimes it can make me look really tired. Today I'm gonna do one eye with the brightener and then one eye with the concealer in the shade 140C, and I'll do a wear test and show you kind of the different looks that they give you. I like to do kind of one dot right in the middle there, and then one kind of below it, and then kind of spread out the rest. And then I do prefer blending it in with my finger first. Formula is super lightweight. It's almost like a creamy serum kind of formula. Just blending out the edges a little bit so it's more seamless. And I purposely didn't put on my lights today. I'm just sitting in front of a window because the lights tend to kind of fill in all the shadows. Hopefully you can see the slight difference and the slight brightness that this area of my face now has compared to this side. And to show you how it builds up, if you want to do that, maybe I'll just put on a little bit more and blend it out. I like using my fingers for this because it's just quick and easy, but you can also use a brush like this. This is the BK Beauty A506 brush, and it's really nice for concealer, especially around the eyes, just because of the way it's shaped. And this is really good as well to just tap in the product. And up close, it looks really natural. You can still see the natural texture of my skin. And something I've learned is that when there's too much product right up to my waterline, it can also look a bit unnatural because there is like a natural shadow to my under eye that I don't want to completely cover up. So it looks like I put just a bit too much right under. So I'm going to blend away just a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna take the concealer in the shade 140C and kind of do the same thing. And once again, the under eye brightener is not a concealer. It's not supposed to be a concealer, just something to give you a sheen, a very light veil of coverage. For this one, I am going to use a brush because I do find it helps to keep the product a bit more focused in the areas that you want it. And this is a great concealer. It's really smoothing. It's not too creamy or too dry. It's just that perfect consistency that makes it really good for under eyes, but also really good for any blemishes or acne scars. And then for the rest of that, I'm just gonna take my blush brush and blend out that line. I have to say these sides look pretty identical to me because the shades are so close to begin with. So even though the under eye brightener isn't supposed to be a concealer, I think it really gives you that concealed and brightened effect while being a lot more natural looking if you're not wearing a lot of makeup everywhere else. Okay, I'm gonna build up the concealer just a little bit. My favorite thing about this is the applicator. It's just so cooling and really nice, and sometimes I will kind of like hold it against my skin and kind of massage it around because it feels so nice and cooling. So this kind of product is perfect for me because I just want a bit of brightness, a bit of coverage, but nothing too heavy or nothing too noticeable. Just something to add a little bit of lift to that corner, which can look a little bit dark sometimes. I'm not going to set over it with any powder today, just to see how well it wears on its own, and I'll check back at the end of the day. So this is the under eye brightener side. This is the concealer side. I'm in front of a window in natural light, and I would say both look nice and bright. This one just looks a bit more natural, like I don't have as much product on the skin, whereas this one, it's kind of clear, like, okay, you put on under eye concealer. So on no makeup looks. Now I'm in the bathroom just with kind of neutral-ish light bulbs, indoor lighting. And this is the concealer side, this is the brightener side, and you can still see the shadows that form from my folds under my eyes, I don't know. So that you can't really get rid of with makeup. Again, you can kind of tell there's like concealer and coverage product on the skin right here, but on this side, it's a little bit harder to detect. Like it just looks like that's my skin. So both sides lasted pretty well throughout the day, but I will say the brightener side looked just a bit more natural and hydrated than the concealer side, which started to look a little bit dry. If you like really natural, no makeup looks, I think the brightener is perfect for that, because sometimes really high coverage under eye products can look a little bit stark and unnatural. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.